Hey everyone, I'm Allison and you're watching Long Island Thrifter. Today I'm in New York City and it is Christmas time. Let's go thrifting. My New York City thrifting trip began at the Goodwill at 103 West 25th Street between 6th and 7th Avenues. This Goodwill is a beautiful store. I was really impressed by it. It definitely looks different than most Goodwills I've walked into. It was organized, it was neat, it was very clean. Although their houseware section was just this, a rack, a very small rack, where I did spot these Fire King saucers. There were about 6 or 7 of them, but they were $2.99 each. And when I looked up the comps, I was kind of disappointed. There really wasn't much value here for me to make any kind of profit. There were 21 for sale and only one had sold, which wasn't very impressive. It was $20 for 8 of them. So I left them behind and I made my way over to the shoe area where I quickly spotted these really nice Eddie Bauer winter boots, which were in great condition, great treads on them, but the price was, I think it looks like $29.99. And when I looked them up, the only pair I could find was one pair being sold on Poshmark for $32. So I did leave these behind as well. I then spotted these New Balance running shoes, which were also in great condition, but also being sold for $24.99. And when I looked those up, the sold comps really were kind of all over the place, anywhere from best offer on almost $15 all the way up to almost $60. But I didn't buy them. So I walked around, now looking down at purses, and then I found this pair of North Face shoes. And I looked them up again. The sold comps were okay, up to $33, but they were selling these for $39.99. It was kind of high and definitely something I put back. And unfortunately, it was super sticky. Yuck. The clothing prices were definitely more reasonable, running around the $7.99 and up range, but I didn't end up buying anything there. My next stop was the Thrifty Hog, which is definitely much more of a thriftique. It's gorgeous. I highly recommend this as a stop in New York City to go thrifting. It is beautiful, it's curated, and everything is pretty much practically brand new. I mean, if it was worn once or twice, I'd be surprised. All the clothing is arranged by size. There are beautiful jewelry displays everywhere. I just fell in love with this store. It really is gorgeous, and you could be there for hours. The prices are higher, as you can see by this jacket. This Dana Buchman jacket was $195. But when you look at these items, most of them may have been worn once, if that. They have a beautiful houseware section and home section. I loved a lot of these pieces. They're just, everything looked brand new, like I was in a boutique. So then, hence why I'm calling it a thriftique. It is gorgeous and definitely worth a stop when you're in New York City. It is a great place to shop. I didn't find anything myself, but I know I'm going to go back and buy some stuff. And 100% of their profits from sales goes to help homeless mothers and their children. My next stop was Showplace, which is located at 40 West 25th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues. It's a gallery that showcases its upcoming auctions, estate sales, and you can see some really beautiful items here that will be up on the auction block. Like this one is January 8th, and I loved the Murano glass above on that top shelf. It was gorgeous. There's some really beautiful furniture as well, and you could roam around this area downstairs and look at, items that maybe you'll bid on later. When I came up the stairs, I fell in love with this Ghirigori Italian Murano glass twisted chandelier, which could be yours for just $28,000. After that, my stop was at Housing Works thrift shop. There are many Housing Works thrift shops around the city. This one was located at 157 East 23rd Street, over by, I believe, 3rd Avenue. It is absolutely gorgeous. They have so many beautiful items, and they have an auction site you can go on to, auction.housingworks.org. This one window was what's up for auction, and they have auctions for all of their locations. Inside, I fell in love with this mid-century modern table, which was gorgeous, and then this Jonathan Lewis armchair, which was beautiful. It was $250. I couldn't find any comps on it though. Everything is beautifully curated. It's beautifully laid out. There was this leather, they called it a vanity. I could see it as a desk as well. It was $295. All the clothing was neatly displayed, and it was a pretty big store. I was pretty impressed by it. There was a very large housewares section, which I really liked, and I browsed around this area for quite a few minutes. There's a lot to see, a lot to take in, and some pretty nice pieces. Again, another store I would highly recommend you stopping at when you're in New York. I loved this dragonfly pitcher. It was like a stoneware, but it was $25, so it was a little expensive, and it was also pretty heavy. So I knew I couldn't really resell that. It would be something more personal that I would like, and I did not feel like carrying it around the city because I was going to meet up with a friend a little later. There were several items that I just fell in love with. This outdoor dining chair and this bar stool by a company, I believe the name is Palecek, P-A-L-E-C-E-K, and they're very high-end, as you're about to see what the prices are. If you were to buy a new one, almost $1,600 for the outdoor dining side chair and a little over $1,700 for the bar stool. But here at Housing Works, you could get them on sale for the bar stool for $395 and the outdoor dining chair for $300. So what a deal. I fell in love with these mid-century modern chairs. They were a set of 7, and they were on sale for $550, and they were surrounding this absolutely gorgeous dining table, which was also on sale for $250. I thought they were amazing. I made my way through the back of the store. Again, everything is really neatly organized, and I found this Palecek Nantucket basket chandelier for $500, which, as you can see, what it ordinarily sells for is pretty high. I think there were some things that were probably from a store that went out of business or something like that. That's why they have so many of these pieces, including this floor lamp I found, which was $500 here, but you could buy it online for over $1,400. Then in the window, I fell in love with this mid-century modern bookshelf. It was just so pretty. I couldn't see a price on it anywhere, but I loved it. After all my window shopping at the thrift stores, I stopped at the Fotografiska Museum to meet up with a good friend of mine. We grabbed a cocktail and walked around to see this really cool exhibit of incredibly imaginative photographs. And even in the window, you could buy those clouds if you wanted to and send them to your house. Then my friend and I stopped at the Union Square Holiday Market. These holiday markets are all over the city. I know there's one in Bryant Park, there's one in Grand Central Station. You can look them up when you're here in the city to see where the holiday markets are located. But they're beautiful, and there's some really great stalls with handmade items, and I loved these hand-carved ornaments. It was really cool to look at all of them and see some really great, interesting pieces, including This was a great way to top off a wonderful thrifting adventure in New York City. Thanks for watching Long Island Thrifter. If you enjoyed this video, please tap the like button, and if so inclined, please subscribe. Until next time, keep on thrifting.